Our next presenter is Dr. Abdul Rahman Tunji Funcho, better known as Tunji to most of us. He is a husband, a father, a grandfather, a cardiologist, a Nigerian, a Rotarian, and Time magazine named him as one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2020. We're very fortunate to have him as our Nigerian Polio Plus chair, as a member of the International Polio Plus Committee, as a member of the International Board of the Rotary Leadership Institute. And through his polio work, he also is one of 3 members of the Grants Committee that looks at all polio spending by Rotary throughout the world. Please welcome our special guest, Dr. Tunji.
Thank you very much for inviting me here, particularly RI Director-elect, Drew, and RI Vice President Valerie, through the good offices of past RI Vice President and Chair of IPPC, McGovern. It's always a pleasure for me to be able to share my experience in our Polio Plus activities in Nigeria and the few experiences I've gained around the world, at this very huge audience. I came on board about 11 years ago as the chair of the Nigerian National Polio Plus Committee on the prompting of 2 of our highly respected past RI presidents who frequently, come to Nigeria to assist with our NIDs and also to participate in some polio corrective surgeries and do some eye surgeries and so on. So at the start of the journey, I never knew what I was getting myself into, but I'm glad I got myself into it because, I've learned a lot, I've gained a lot of experience, and I'm gratified about the coming together of a lot of people in partnership. I think, we are touted to be the greatest public-private partnership for health intervention in the history of the world. And that's a very good thing. But often we forget that, the strongest of this partnership is actually, within Rotary. Rotary leaders at the level of the board of directors, the trustees of the foundation, have continuously over 3.5 decades worked together very, very closely, to support, International Polio Plus Committee to ensure that the mandate they've been given to support polio eradication across the world, is carried through. And through that, to the zones, to the districts, and to the clubs. I think this is the greatest and the most important of this partnership, which has led us to be seen by our GPI partners, which is WHO, UNICEF, the Center for Disease Control, the Gates Foundation, to see Rotary as the leader in this effort to rid the world of the wild polio virus. So we must give ourselves a lot of credit for it, and congratulations to all of us. This partnership, has yielded a lot of good things for us. Apart from getting us to where we are today regarding polio eradication partners, which has now left us with just 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan, that have still got to eradicate polio. But of course, the good news that some of you may be aware of is that even in those 2 countries, we have polio. Last case of polio reported about 7 to 8 months ago. And I just got the very good news this morning that the Taliban in Afghanistan have allowed house-to-house immunization for polio, which they have not done in several years. So that gives us a shot in the arm and gives us a lot of hope that in the not too distant future, we're going to see the end of polio transmission in Pakistan and Afghanistan. And so we've come a long way. We faced a lot of challenges across the world. In Nigeria in particular, we faced challenges from the insurgency by Boko Haram in northeastern part of the country, which was what led to our setback when we had a new case of polio resurging in 2016. But with the efforts of Rotary International, we have been able to put a lead on that outbreak, such that last year, August, the certification committee certified Africa polio-free by virtue of Nigeria having been without any case of polio for 4 years. So challenges have been there. We also have had challenges from anti-vaccine groups, apart from Boko Haram, who, just like we're having with, incidentally, with the COVID-19, vaccination, spurious claims of the vaccine being injurious, causing sterility and stuff like that. And it has helped us, to show people that these same things were said about the polio vaccine. And I always make the point that our population in Nigeria in particular has increased by 30% since we started polio immunization. So there's no basis in fact for the fact that the vaccine was made in order to decrease the population, particularly the population of Muslims in the northern part of the country. So we have really been mounting this, coming across these challenges, and we have, been able to find solutions to these challenges. Some of them quite innovative solutions. We have vast areas in this country that are very hard to reach, either because of the terrain or because of weather conditions at certain times of the year. With those two, we have found ways to get around it. We work with the military very closely in the northeastern part of the country, using various means to ensure that no child is missed from having their immunizations done, so that we can maintain currently our zero case situation. Now, our slogan in Nigeria is keep polio at zero, and thankfully we have been able to maintain that. However, we have this distraction of circulating vaccine-derived polio, which is a variant or a mutation of the polio virus in the vaccine, the type 2 of the vaccine. Thankfully, the new vaccine, the new oral polio vaccine, has been developed, which is quite stable, which is less likely to mutate. And Nigeria was one of the first countries, to start using that vaccine. And currently, we've had quite a number of outbreak responses aimed at ensuring that every child has this new vaccine. These new vaccines ensures that even if the virus remains in the environment for some time, the tendency for it to mutate and cause disease is very, very limited indeed. But then we had quite a few tools in our arsenal to help us achieve the goal we achieved. I believe one of the most important ones is the use of frontline workers. Because no matter what we do, no matter how much funds we raise, which I'll talk about in a minute, and no matter how much our cold stain, work, if we do not get those precious drops of the vaccines into the mouths of our children, it will be an exercise in futility, because that is the goal of the program. And the people who actually ensure that this is done are frontline workers. And the largest number of these organized frontline workers are what we call VCM, voluntary community mobilizers. These are mostly women, there are men amongst them, who are living in their communities, respected in the communities. Sometimes they are traditional birth attendants from those communities, so they are known. And they are the ones who help us to, number one, persuade the households to take the vaccine. Number two, give us an accurate idea of how many children below the age of 5 live in every household in their community, so that when we come out to do house-to-house immunization, we know whether we're missing any child. But then we have over time used them also for other healthcare interventions, for other vaccines, for instance, childhood, antigens that children require, but also to assist in maternal and child care, make sure that women, go for antenatal care where possible, ensure that, when time for delivery comes, they go to the hospital when necessary because home delivery is quite high in our rural communities in Nigeria. But they are trained also to recognize danger signs and ensure that these women have safe, supervised delivery and recognize primary healthcare centers in particular. So they've been a great asset to us, and Rotary in Nigeria has continuously recognized them on an annual basis until COVID-19 came calling, with both financial and also awards, with plaques and shields, for us to appreciate what they are doing and continue to encourage them to continue what they are doing. We call them volunteers because what we give them is just a stipend. It is barely enough, to be called a good remuneration for the great work they're doing. So our frontline workers, are the linchpin of our efforts to ensure that we eradicate polio. But as I said earlier, it costs money. We have a saying in Nigeria that a good pot of soup costs a lot of money. The polio eradication program has expended a lot of our resources, and I want to thank all of you who are listening to me, Rotarians and non-Rotarians alike, who, despite the fact that your environment has been free of polio for about 2 decades or more, continue to contribute to our Polio Plus Fund. This has allowed us to be able to meet our promise around the world, for that matter, of ensuring that no child is ever paralyzed by the wild polio virus. We need to continue raising funds. Current estimates are that till the end of 2021, we will need about $1.2 billion. And the current model to when we expect eradication will take place, about 2026, is about $5.1 billion. So we really need to continue raising funds, continue to advocate, to our government, to, our partners, for the need to stay on course until the job is done, and continue to encourage ourselves, Rotarians, at the club levels in particular, for them to be aware that we are yet, to breast the tape. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we need to continue what we are doing. In fact, in some instances, we need to do a little bit more to convince people that the job is still not done. COVID-19 is a great reminder of the huge work we have done, because we have now been using the resources for polio eradication to do the most important things for COVID-19, which is surveillance. You need to pick it up early and ensure that people, are immunized, people are isolated, and contact tracing helps us to ensure that the spread is less. We're also using Rotarians and also Rotary staff to educate, people to undertake basic protocols of hand hygiene, wearing their masks, and also avoiding crowded areas, particularly indoor crowded areas. So the Rotary program has been of immense benefit, to the world, thanks, to the determination of Rotarians, like you, who have kept faith with our promise to the children of the world to ensure that no child is ever paralyzed by the wild polio virus. I thank you for this great opportunity to talk to you today, and I wish you a very, very successful conference. Thank you very much.